The Little Toy Maker. George and Jane were excited because their mother had said they might go out for a picnic by themselves. "If you cross over the road very carefully and go to the hill above the long field, you should be all right," she said. So they set off, with George carrying the picnic basket. In the basket were some egg sandwiches, 2 rosy apples, a small bar of chocolate, and 2 pieces of ginger cake. There was a bottle of lemonade as well, and George and Jane kept thinking of the cool lemonade as they crossed the road, went through the long field, and up the hill. They did feel so very thirsty. There were ash and sycamore trees up on the hill. Already they were throwing down their seeds on the wind. Ash spinners that spun in the breeze, and sycamore keys that twirled down to the ground. George picked some up and looked at them. "Aren't they nice?" he said. "Throw some up into the air, Jane, and see them spin to the ground. The tree's pleased to see them twirling in the wind, because then it knows that its seeds are travelling far away to grow into big new trees." After a while, the children sat down to have their lunch. They began with the egg sandwiches. But before they had taken more than a few bites, they saw a most surprising sight. A very small man, not much taller than George's teddy bear at home, came walking out from behind a gorse bush. He carried 2 baskets with him. One was empty and one was full. The full one had sandwiches and milk in it, and the children thought that the small man must be having a picnic, as they were. The little man did not see them. He had a very long white beard that he had tied neatly round his waist to keep out of the way of his feet. He wore enormous glasses on his big nose, and he had funny pointed ears, and a hat that had tiny bells on. The bells tinkled as he walked. Jane wished and wished that she had a hat like that. "What a very little man," said Jane. "Do you suppose he's a pixie or a brownie?" "Shh," said George. "Don't talk. Let's watch." So they watched. The little man walked along humming a song. And suddenly he tripped over a root, and down he went. His full basket tipped up, and out fell his sandwiches and milk. The bottle broke. The sandwiches split open and fell into bits on the grass. "Oh, what a pity!" cried George, and ran to help at once. The little man was surprised to see him. George picked him up, brushed the grass off his clothes, and looked sadly at the milk and sandwiches. "Oh, your picnic's no use," he said. "Come and share ours, do." The small man smiled, and his face lit up at once. He picked up his baskets and went to where the children had spread their picnic food. Soon he was sitting down chatting to them, sharing their sandwiches, cake, and chocolate. He was very pleased. "Why was one of your baskets empty?" asked Jane. "What were you going to put into it?" "Oh, ash and sycamore keys," said the small man. "There are plenty on this hill." "Oh, shall we help you to fill your basket?" said George. "We've eaten everything now, and Jane and I would like to help you." "Oh, do," said the small man. So the 3 of them picked up the ash and sycamore keys and put them neatly into the basket. "Why do you collect these?" asked Jane. "I would so like to know. Do you burn them or something?" "Oh, no. I'm a toy maker, and I use them for keys for my clockwork toys," said the little man. "Come along home with me if you like. I'll show you what I do." He took them over the top of the hill, and there, under a mossy curtain, was a tiny green door set in the side of the hill. The little man pushed a sycamore key into the door and unlocked it. Inside was a tiny room set with small furniture and a big work table. And on the table were all kinds of toys. They were made out of hazelnut shells, acorns, chestnuts, pine cones, and all sorts of things. The small man had cleverly made bodies and heads and legs and wings. And there were the toys, very small, but very quaint and beautiful. The children stared at them in delight. "Now you see," said the little man, emptying out his basket of keys onto his work table. "All I need to do is to find keys to fit these toys, and then they can be wound up, and they will walk and run and dance. Just fit a few keys into the holes and see if you can wind up any of the toys." In great excitement, the two children fitted ash and sycamore keys into the toys, and George found one that fitted a pine cone bird perfectly. He wound it up, and the bird danced and hopped, pecked, and even flapped its funny wings. It was lovely to watch. Soon all the funny little toys were dancing about on the table, and the children clapped their hands in joy. It was the funniest sight they had ever seen. They only had to fit a key to any of the toys, wind it up, and lo and behold, that toy came to life. "Oh, I wish we hadn't got to go, but we must. Mother will be worried if we're late," said George at last. "Oh, goodbye, little fellow. I do love your toys." "Choose one each," said the little man generously. So they did. Jane chose the bird, and George chose a hedgehog made very cleverly out of a prickly chestnut case and a piece of beechnut. It ran just like a real hedgehog when George wound it up. And now those two little toys are on their mantelpiece at home, and they are so funny to watch when George and Jane wind them up with ash or sycamore keys. I can't show you the toys, but you can go and find ash and sycamore keys for yourself if you like. There are plenty under the trees, spinning in the wind. Find a few and see what good little keys they make for winding up fairy toys.